Da-da-da-dee-dee. Da-dee-da-dee-dum. Mhm. Hello, Wisconsin. What's up, dudes? What's shaking? I'm good. Love you too, man. Love you all. What's going on, everybody? What a nice, what is it? Saturday? Sunday? Saturday. It's Saturday. I don't really fish Saturdays, so I should know that it's Saturdays. What's going on, everybody? Blake, I saw you're on the water today. Hope you had a good day, my friend. Lucas, Clayton, my boy. Hello, hello. Dason, hello. Hello, everybody. Hello, Mike, Jeff, Eric, Louis, Ellie, Ray, All Season Angler, Jack, Poor Man Outdoors. I like that. Poor Man Outdoors. Clayton, you're my favorite YouTuber. You must not watch any other YouTube channels. How big was that crack? The one I showed on my Instagram last night, it was, I don't know, it was a foot, 2 feet type of thing. It was just enough where you didn't want to step over it, because what happens, obviously, each of those edges get weaker too. A plank would have been good, but I followed it all the way to shore. Keep in mind, it's like pitch black too. So it was, I actually have a video coming out tomorrow. And at the start of the video, or in the first like 6 minutes, I go over that heave going to where I'm fishing. And I even said, like, this is like the start of a heave right now. When I came back later that night, it was open. So lakes can change so fast. But yeah, it was big. Clayton, my guy. Hello from Brandon. Hi from North Idaho. You are the best. I'm not the best. You are the best. You are the best. I've watched a lot of your pike fishing videos. They're my favorite. Ever think of filming some muskie, or ever think of filming some muskie fishing? I would like to film some muskies at some point. It's just pretty far from me. Probably in the next couple of years, I'll be doing it, because there's something in the works with one of my friends and stuff like that. I won't say anymore. But eventually there's going to be some muskie fishing at some point for sure, especially when I get the new boat and whatever. I'll head out there in September, October, something like that. So what's on tap tonight? Something boring. Just a Bud Light. Just a Bud Light. Going to St. Paul. I'm not going to St. Paul. I do want to do that ice show at some point, and I was asked to go down there by a couple different companies, but I need to be making videos right now more than anything. And maybe next year we'll see. Maybe even fly down for like just a day, something like that. Like leave here like Saturday morning, come for a few hours, and then fly home. But I really need to be making videos. Rate your first impressions of Megalive on a scale of 1 to 10. I would say somewhere between an 8 and a 9 type of thing. I'm actually pretty impressed with it so far. The clarity is amazing. Might lack some detail at times. Like, yeah, maybe you don't see the top fins, but I've watched a lot of like live scope footage and what's it, active target, I think, from Lawrence. Like, you don't always see that either, right? So it's Megalive's definitely taken a lot more um, painful comments on the internet, I think, that it actually deserves, I think, because it's super, super clear. Like the next video I got coming out, like it's so clear. Once you dial in the settings, it's pretty good. You aren't even fishing. This is fake news. I didn't say I was fishing in my thing, did I? I think I said live chat hangout. I don't think I said I was fishing. Hey there. Hello. How do you feel about the Razor augers, Clayton? I haven't used them, so really can't comment on them. I've heard they are heavy, but that's all I've really heard. I've heard they cut good, though. You are too brand loyal. I don't think so. I would run a live scope if I had an opportunity at some point on my boat. Um, the live scope is a great unit, right? Like I'm not gonna say that the Megalive is better than a live scope right now. I think they have some work to do in that sense, but I'm not brand loyal when it comes to that. Like at the same point, if I work with a good brand, I'm gonna support them. I'd be crazy not to if it's good. Strike Master 40 volt or Ion 40 volt. So I used to run the Strike Master for a couple of years, and then last year they put an Ion G2 in my hand. And at the beginning of the year, I was telling people, yes, it's a super light auger. It cuts good. I'm impressed with it, but I really want to see what it gets like, what the auger does later in the year. Well, last year in March, April, I had it up north, using it in like some pretty heavy slush conditions, and by the end of the trip, the buddies I was with, they were using my auger when they could instead of a gas auger. So both of them are honestly great options, but I do prefer the Ion G2 right now, not just because I work with them, but it is because it's a lot lighter auger. But you aren't going to go wrong with either. I think the Strike Master 40 volt and the Ion G2 are both excellent augers. I don't have anything bad to say about either of them. Whose beer are you drinking? I'm drinking one of yours, Carter. Pull it right out of your fridge. What lakes have you visited this winter? I don't really talk about any of the lakes, especially at first ice, just because of the fact that if somebody thinks that I'm out there fishing or they've heard that I was out there, I don't want them to go, and if something happens to them where they get hurt or they drown or anything like that, I don't want to be held responsible in any way, because I don't want somebody to say, well, Clayton Schick was out there and he said it was fine. So I don't ever talk about lakes at early ice, especially because that's a full, I believe, go find out for yourself, like 100%. Best Frostbite rod for walleye and crappie. I think if you're going to probably get one that was for crappie and, I got to sneeze so bad right now, for walleye and crappie, either the Smoke Show or the Royal Flush probably would be a good one. Or maybe even if you went to like a fiberglass series, the dipstick would be good. It'd be a little bit light for bigger walleye, but I have caught like 8, 9, 10-pound walleye on the dipstick before. So I saw another question. What depths did you target through first ice walleyes at Lake of the Prairies right now? Anywhere between like 15 to 21 feet, somewhere in there is probably your best bet. Ever used the Clam drill plate auger? No, I have not used the Clam drill plate auger. I just, something that we never really got to here. I always pulled up my auger right away, so never ever had a chance to play with something like that. This guy, wow, I think I can get rid of you right here. Let's see, let's hide user in this channel. I'm not a fraud, and yeah, and I'm definitely not racist, so see ya. I got out tonight for the first time. It was awesome. Felt so good to be on the ice. Awesome, dude. I hope you had a good time. Everybody be super safe this time of year. Things change so fast, like so fast. You could walk one way and then you could walk home the other way, or like on your way home, and things could totally change. Just be careful. I definitely encourage everybody to go out right now too, but I really encourage safety. Like I'm not ever gonna tell somebody, oh, don't go, it's not safe enough for you to go. How do you learn, right? You've got to take your time and go, like take small steps, go with somebody that's experienced. And yeah. Have you ever fished in Montana? No, I've never fished in Montana. I really haven't. Seen a TikTok of you ice fishing trout get 500K likes and 2.3 million views. Wasn't uploaded by you, but TikTok is a great way to get tons of exposure. I've heard that, and maybe we need to start doing some TikTok, I think, at some point. Thank you, John. I don't know. Can I do a poll? Here, let's do a poll. I've never done one of these here before. This is going to be fun. Maybe we'll do multiple polls today. Should Clayton do TikTok? I do have a TikTok account, but I think I have 2 videos uploaded to it. Cheers. I don't know if that poll even worked. Hopefully it did. I don't know. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Ah, cool. Do you set up your rods for walleye in the iFish Pros? Yes, I don't use the iFish Pros a lot for the walleye. I'm going to do some more this year when I start to use some live minnows at Lake of the Prairies. But the 39-inch fiberglass series would be great rods for that. Like I would use the Drench for something like that. Oh, maybe I misread that. How do you set up your rods for walleye in the iFish Pros? I really haven't done anything like that for walleye, so I'll do a video on that at some point. TikTok is stupid. I agree, it is stupid, but if you can gain some, if I can draw people to my YouTube channel from TikTok, that's great. I would more than like anything love to see the whole TikTok, the poll go to no more than anything, because then I would be like, okay, my people say no. Love your videos. I think videos are better than any drug. I agree so much. Just got the Striker Ice Trekker float suit at Cabela's for $400. Thank you. That is awesome. No question, just hi. Hi. Any plans to ice fish Tobin this winter? I think at some point I'd like to fish Tobin. I just don't know when yet. I would like to probably do something for like a walleye pike combo type of thing. So, do you ever target carp? Excuse me. I haven't targeted carp for, I want to say, like 4 years. If you go to my like first original video, my first video on Clayton Chick Outdoors, maybe not the first one, because I think the first one was a video that Jay and I and some people up north put together. Maybe it's the second one, but I filmed a carp video, like my first one ever. I had my buddy Tyson with me come help film, and yeah. You do any perch fishing? I've done some perch. I have done some perch fishing. I'd like to do some more perch fishing though this year. It's probably going to happen at some point. I don't even know any of my plans right now. Like I've got a few ideas what I might want to do. I do have a new walleye video coming out tomorrow, but I think I want to target some pike and possibly some perch here a little bit early. I have some ideas. I just have to go do it. Have you seen the get outside sweaters that have been made? Have you see that? There hasn't get outside sweaters made on Teespring. Ever been to Lake Simcoe for lake trout? I have not. Have you ever fished the States? If so, and where? I have fished the States in Texas and in Florida, in the Keys. Where else have I fished in the States? It might be it. Texas and Florida might be it. Oh, a little bit out of pond in Mississippi. Yeah. Hey, Clayton, what was wondering what line setup you use for pike rods for ice fishing? Been running 30-pound Suffix 832 braid, and then I use it on a Mr. Big Frostbite rod with a 2500 series reel, and then I use wire from American Fishing Wire. It's 7x7 strand, nylon coated. It's really, really good. What's the weirdest fish you would target if you did 39 hours? I don't know. In Saskatchewan, we don't have anything like crazy weird. Like we don't have like what the Ontario boys get, like rudd. Like what's a rudd, right? Like so weird. Does your social media work fully support you now without much for guiding? Right now it is actually. If I didn't want to go back to guiding, I probably wouldn't have to. But I still enjoy the guiding so much that I will be going back for at least a couple seasons and probably forever in that sense, even if it's part-time or whatever. But I love it too much not to go back. So, but it is supporting me without it right now, between everything I do, between YouTube ad revenue, companies, and some affiliate marketing, that kind of stuff. So it's going okay in that sense. Do the lure companies make barbless hooks, or do you fix them yourself? Some companies will make barbless hooks, but you literally just got to take a good pair of pliers and just crush the barb. It's not that hard at all. Guiding rocks, it sure does. Panfish, yes. What do you charge to guide? I actually work for a lodge. It's called Wollaston Lake Lodge. So I don't charge myself. I work for that company, and I'm not sure exactly what a trip is there right now. It's probably between 5,600 and 5,800 American for 4 days. It's a definitely a higher end lodge. What's the coldest temps you slept in a monster lodge with a big buddy heater? We're gonna have to have a shot here. We're gonna have to have a shot for that one. Anything like, well, I haven't had a shot yet. I was in like minus 24 to minus 27 Celsius. And I only had one big buddy heater going at that time too, and I think it was mostly on medium for the most part. But a fan pushing down definitely helps a lot. Cheers to you. That's good stuff. Can you? If I miss your question, I have like a 30-second delay on here, so nobody can spam. But feel free to ask again, right? I want to try to get as many questions as I can. Can you recommend a starter camera setup? Thinking about making fishing videos or something. Honestly, you can't go wrong with a GoPro, but just get some good audio. This is what Jay and I both use quite a bit. A Tascam DR10L. It's a great audio, and then you just have to kind of edit that together with your GoPro stuff. But you can never go wrong with a GoPro in that sense. Another good camera is a Canon G7X Mark II. I do a lot of my video logging type of thing with it, like my intros, outros, whenever I need to. I use that a lot as well. So Can't wait to get back up guiding in the Northwest Territories. Heck yeah, dude. Do you plan on doing more ice camping videos? Because I love them videos, man. Ice camping is going to be a huge thing for me this year. My goal is at least like, I'm going to say 5 ice camping trips, if not more. But I'm going to try to do some for pike, walleye, lake trout, whatever. Ice camping is going to be something I'm going to key in on a little bit more this year. I enjoy them because you're just getting out, cooking fresh fish, all that fun stuff. So yes, there will be ice camping videos for sure. Clayton, how warm can you get an ice shanty at -40? I don't even know. You should be able to get it like room, like not room temperature, but like above freezing in there for sure with a big buddy heater. Like, yeah, that's, you get it where it's comfortable, where you don't have to, you can lose your jacket and that kind of stuff. So probably I'd probably say somewhere low teens type of thing. You probably get it when it's -40. What flasher would you get for my first one under $500? For just a straight flasher unit, maybe for under $500, look at the Ice 35 from Humminbird. They make a pretty good one. I don't know anything about other flashers when it comes to Markham or Garmin or that stuff, so I can't even suggest anything in that. So I would say for the Humminbird Ice 35 would be a good one for sure. I've got a Permi above 35 when it's -20, 28. I bet you'd have. It can get Permies can get pretty warm. Did you get a zero gravity chair yet? No, I haven't. I still don't know what to do in that sense. The cot, the last time I stayed in the cot, took a bigger foam mattress and actually wasn't bad at all. Do you only guide in Saskatchewan or you go to Manitoba as well? I just guide in Saskatchewan. I do most of my fishing in Manitoba, but I guide in Saskatchewan. Stock trout boy, all depends on species. Brookies mostly under 10 feet. Oh, obviously he's answering a question for somebody else. Anybody that likes to answer other questions, that's great. I appreciate you guys helping everybody out. Have you ever ice fished Cold Lake? I have not. A Vexler FLX 12 would be a perfect for under 500. I have a Garmin Striker 4. See, there's a lot of different options in that sense, right? Like for other things. I love my Ice 35. Yeah, I started Carter on the Ice 35 for like 2 years, and he loved it. Like, it was really good to him. Where can a guy find a Frostbite dinner bells? The only place you can get Frostbite product is from fishfrostbite.com in the States and fishfrostbite.ca in Canada. And get some now while you can. Their discount is still going on right now. They have a 10% discount and free shipping, I believe. Free shipping over $100, maybe, something like that. What deucer do you use with your Humminbird? Well, now I'm running the Megalive, so I'm running that transducer. But on my Helix 7, I was using the, I'm going to butcher this, but something like the XI921, something like that. It ends in 21, I think. XI9521, something like that. I know I'm not saying it right, but we got a limit on upper lead in Minnesota. High five. Thanks for the tips and getting learned. You betcha. You're welcome. That's awesome. So Red Lake, so Upper Red's going already. Hey, that's cool. I figured that they'd be going pretty soon down there. Canada does have Cabela's. Yes, they do. All season anglers, do you need a captain license to guide? And if so, how's the process? It's different in provinces. Like Manitoba is a little bit different from Saskatchewan. In Saskatchewan, you have to actually work for a lodge outfitter. You can't just get like your own guiding license. You have to work for an outfitter that's licensed. So yes, you can get your own outfitting license, but pretty much all of them right now are already allocated to. So I can't just say like, oh, I want to guide and go to Last Mountain one day and Tobin the next and Fort Capel the next. You actually have to have an allocation for that body of water. It's a little bit different from the States. I would love to have like a guide license and you could go to wherever you wanted. I think that would be the ultimate for sure. You could go to different lakes and hit certain hot bites. Thank you for the super chat, All Season Anglers. Much appreciated. I enjoy being able to talk to you through messages. I had a great day out on the water, by the way. The kiddos had a blast. That's awesome, Zachary. I'm glad you had a good time with the kids out there. It's always good to get out with the family. If you had to pick a walleye color and size for dinner bell, what would you pick? Going to order some tonight. You're welcome, Alex Parrott. Well, the rose gold for me has always been a staple for sure. But don't forget the Insanity pepper. That little guy right there. Medium size has been my best walleye size for like your fish that aren't as aggressive, but when they're super aggressive, the bigger size is really good. Total fraud. He knows zero about ice fishing. Well, seize the day. Cheers to you because you're still watching, you sucker. I don't know much about ice fishing, you're right. What lure did you catch the 30 and a quarter inch walleye on? It was a quiver spoon, a 1/4 ounce quiver spoon. It was like, I forget what the color is, metallic red or chrome red or something like that. Okay, seize the day. Now you're gone. I was having fun with you before, but now you're gone. See ya. Anyways, 1/4 ounce quiver spoon, chrome red, the silver back. It's been really good. I made a mistake on my video. I says it was 3/8 ounce. It was a 1/4 ounce. So, but I heard right now after that video, they're really tough to get. If you run 39 hours, what your for sure or most confidence points be? If I were like, if I was like just gonna really focus on just like a couple of points and not worried about winning the whole thing, I think I would take down the lake trout and the pike and possibly the grayling category. I think would be my 3 go-tos, and then from there it would be a little bit of a struggle bus for me. Maybe I think I would struggle a little bit when it comes to the rough fish. It's not something I maybe could learn in a little bit of time, but I've not done a lot of rough fish fishing. But I would just need a good partner that maybe has that stuff keyed in a little bit more, or the stock trout, something like that. So yeah, 39 hours with teams of 3 would be pretty cool in that sense. Clayton, what size hammer TT should I be fishing for walleye this winter? The 1/8 and the 1/4 ounce. The 1/8 are for your smaller fish and when the bite's not as aggressive, and then a 1/4 ounce for when maybe your bite hypes up a little bit. That would be my go-tos. I'll be doing some hyper hammer TT stuff here at some point. Do you winterize the boat? The boat is winterized, and actually it is sold. It is sold. It's just waiting to be picked up at some point. You ever fell through? I have fell through the ice when I was younger, but like not ice fishing, but I fell through like being on ice when I was younger. So yeah, wasn't even ice fishing. It was just goofing around. Hi Clayton, how do you like to break down a lake with tons of structure? For early ice walleyes, they can be tricky. Thanks. Honestly, it comes to breaking down a lake, trial and error, literally trial and error. The next video I have coming out is literally a trial and error video. I went to a lake and I just went from hump to hump to hump to hump, and finally I found them. And I made it part of the video. Like I don't catch a fish like for like first 6 or 7 minutes in the video. You see me lots of just drilling and moving. I don't really talk about it so much, but it's really just trial and error for sure. Trial and error. Just find out what's good and find out what's not good. And then a month later, it could all change on you too. With all your guiding and YouTube success, do you ever think that you would come to be being paid to drink? No, Corey, I never thought that would be, that's good. I like it, Corey. Being paid to drink. It's so funny. Good evening, Clayton. Do you happen to know where I can get some dinner bell jigging spoons in Ontario? The only place to get your dinner bell spoons is on fishfrostbite.com and fishfrostbite.ca. Good evening, Mike. Hope all is well. Cheers, Clayton. Cheers to you. Are you going to do a video with KGF fishing this winter? It's definitely a possibility. I messaged him this summer that if I got out to Diefenbaker to do something with him, it's definitely possible. Where's Tigger? I'm sure Cindy will bring down Tigger at the end. I'm sure. First walleye the ice season cracks 30-incher. You got to be kidding me. Yeah, it's better to be lucky than good. I was a little bit shocked in that sense too. Like a guy couldn't have scripted it any better. Like any better. Time to strap on the hockey skates to get around the lake. I've been walking. Yeah, I know, man. I could have put on the skates so easy. I think if my feet wouldn't get so sore in the old goalie skates, or if I could even find the goalie skates right now, I would definitely contemplate on doing it. But yeah, guy needed skates. Hey Clayton, do you know when they'll drop more dinner bells and the tungsten smalls? I don't know when the tungsten small ones are coming out yet for sure. Have you tried the new colored dinner bells? Not yet. My order isn't in yet, so I'm still waiting. Hi Clayton, are you scared of Bay Quinte walleye? I'm so scared. No, Bay Quinte is a long ways, like a long ways for me, like a long ways. You and Pokey's gonna make a video. I don't know if I'll make any videos with Pokies for sure. I'm definitely going to keep using some stuff that they have for sale in their store, though. Pokies did sell me my Megalive. They hooked a brother up, got me a Megalive in. Was one of the first ones to have it out of their store, which was pretty awesome. And I did pay for it. What's your when you gonna do Hecla for fishing? There'll be new depth maps coming mid-December, maybe. I might do Hecla this year again. If there's depth maps, I'll definitely be going for sure. What's the best line for fishing for pike? I have a Mr. Big 43-inch, 43 heavy. I would say 20 or 30 pound. I think I said 30 pound earlier in the chat. 20-pound braid would be your best for sure. So I hope that guy is still here. I said 30 pound. I would use actually for pike. I'd probably use a 20-pound braid. 20-pound Suffix 832s will be running this year. I have to start buying more merch instead of these super chats. Either way, hope to get to Lake of the Prairies next week. Have to finish deer crossing first. Matter has or Haas. I know who you are now. Thank you so much. Nice work on the deer, and yes, fishing, my friend. Get out there. Cheers to you. Cheers. Clayton, can you make a video on how to prepare your boat in open water? Yes. I will have like a 3 or a 4-part series with the StarCraft this year, putting on the electronics, trolling motor, splash guards, all that fun stuff, whatever, rod holders, all that stuff. There will be definitely in April, I will be having a series on that. 100%. Clayton, any plans for perch or big panfish? Perch for sure. I don't know anything about if I'll be doing anything more with different panfish. Did you get a deer this year? Did you go out? I never even went hunting at all this year. 0. I just really wanted to focus on getting everything ready for first ice and getting out there. Did you get a deer? I answered that. There it is. Steel leader. I actually use for my pike for a leader. I use what's called American fishing wire. I use 7x7 strand, nylon coated. Bingo flamingo dinner bell. Yes, I agree. It does look awesome. I can't wait to get one. How good is the Aquaview HD 7 Gen 2? I plan on fishing 20 plus feet. Can I get a good video that deep? It'll really honestly depend on your lake clarity. I have lakes where I can fish 60 feet and see awesome. And I have lakes where I can hardly see in 20 feet of water. So it really depends on your lake, honestly, more than anything. It's hard to judge. It's all lake clarity. That's not something I can answer for sure, but I have used the Aquaview in 60, 70 feet before. So I wish I could give you a better answer with that one, but I really can't. Clayton, what's on your playlist when driving out to the next fishing adventure? I listen to a lot of podcasts, or I'll just listen to like something on like Netflix or something like that, something I've watched 100 times and I just know. I don't know, music. I don't know. Maybe I just don't have time for it. I got one song right now. What's the song right now? I just downloaded all the time. I listen to lots. I always get bugged because I only like download like 3 or 4 songs at a time. Leave a Light On. There we go. Tom Walker. That's a good one. Other than that, like pump you up music sometimes I'll listen to, but my mind's just always spinning. It seems like music I don't really listen to it so much. Don't ask him about his playlist. Yeah, exactly. See? My playlist. I'm with you. Don't listen to much music. Hey, Clayton, do you plan to make any whitefish videos? I'd like to do some whitefish at some point. I just don't really have anything planned right now. So I'm not ruling it out, though, any means. I would like to do something this year. I know there's some buddies out there in Manitoba that have on some whitefish bites at times, so maybe I will get a slide out there finally. Can you use a Humminbird Megalive on a Helix 7? The Gen 4 7s, I think you can, as long as it has to be a Mega unit, a Mega Plus unit. Audiobooks, 100%, totally. You going fishing tomorrow, Clayton? I am not going fishing tomorrow. I am releasing a video tomorrow, and I will also help Cindy with a few things around the house, and then I will get ready for a fishing adventure on Monday. I don't fish a lot on the weekends. I tend to try to stay away from the lakes on the weekends, more so just because it's a little bit busier. So I like to fish during the week usually. Watch your videos, bro. I love trout fishing. Great videos. Thinking of making some myself. Be a J versus Clay versus Aaron versus Les. That's awesome. That's awesome. Have you used live scope and your thoughts compared to Megalive? I have used live scope in a boat a few times. I don't know if I ever use it in the ice. I've seen it in the ice. Honestly, don't believe everything you read on the internet. That's all I can say until you actually spend time with the Megalive. Is it as good quality as a live scope right now? Probably not, but I don't think they're far behind from nailing it down. You'll see, I have more footage coming out tomorrow. So with it, it's super clear. I'm very impressed with that. Once you get the settings down, I found right now, contrast all the way cranked, and then you lower your sensitivity down. And I like to always run my sensitivity on stuff like that, where you can just kind of make out your bait. I don't need my bait to be this giant blob. I want to just make it out and always, you know, I know where it is going. So gonna be, so that's what I'm gonna say. Contrast up, sensitivity, play with your sensitivity. And then there's a couple different color palettes right now that I've been using, and I even do a comparison in the video or ask you guys basically what you like better, color palette 8 or color palette 11. So hey Clayton, do you have any recommendations for a jigging rod for heavier Latrobe baits that would double as a good iFish Pro rod for pike? I would say for heavier Latrobe baits, and then double for pike, probably your best bet would be, I want to say, a Mr. Big. You can't get away with, you're not going to get away with, like, say, a 2.5 ounce or 3 ounce bait on there all day. But I have used a 2 ounce tube jig for quite a considerable amount of time with Mr. Big. Your arm just gets sore a little bit after after the end of the day type of thing, but it does handle it for sure. Answer the poop question. I keep missing the poop question. Can I get a shout out to Austin and Jordan, big Sask fans? Well, hello, Austin and Jordan. Are you planning on coming to Lake Winnipeg? Yes, I do come to Lake Winnipeg. So the Slugger, I would say, you know what, would probably be a good rod for that. Like it's my go-to rod for the bigger Latrobe baits for sure. For pike, it might be a little bit too heavy at times though. Hey Clayton, did you guide lots this year at Wollaston Lake Lodge? Our lodge wasn't open this summer, so I did 0 guiding up there. I haven't fished Wollaston now for, holy cow, 3 or 4 years already now since I've been up there. I'm going to hit rocks when I go up there now. I'm going to be like a lost little puppy up there. How do you poop while ice camping? I'll have to do a video on that because I'm sure people are wondering. But I have a technique and it works quite well. I'm a firm believer in try to pack in what you pack out if you're there for a long period of time. So I will share a little bit in a future video. There, your question's answered. Do you run the GoPro 10? I don't have a GoPro 10. I only have the 9 right now. I haven't really done any research on it at all, but I'm sure it's going to be good. I do need some more GoPro 9 batteries, though. I do. Love your videos. Very informative. Well, thank you, Danner. Thank you very much. Clayton, feeling on the Aquaview quad camera. I love it. It's just expensive. And it's not something that you want to like move around lots in. If you're going to fish like in a certain area for a long amount of time, this goes with any Aquaview camera. It's nothing is harder than moving around lots with an Aquaview. But when you set up there all day or you're like in a permanent ice shelter, the quad camera is awesome. I just talked to a guy here recently that has a 51-inch TV in his ice castle, ice shack, whatever, and he's like, should I buy the quad camera? I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, you will love the quad camera with the 51-inch TV. Going to Clearwater near the pond January 6th to the 9th. Is it a good time for big trout? It should be a good time. It really should. What kind of camera do you have? I have the quad camera, but I also have the Aquaview 7i Pro. What size of ice reel for a 37 medium light and 38 medium? So the 37 medium light, I like to run a 500 series reel, and on a 38 medium, which is the True Grit, I like to run a 1000 size reel. Do you primarily use a dinner bell with a minnow head or just the lure itself? Rely on action and sound. I would rather use no bait on the dinner bell, but lately the bite's been super finicky, so I've had to tip it with like either a minnow head or an eyeball or something like that, or maybe a minnow wrap, it's called, something, you know, something like that. I would rather not use bait on those style of spoons if I don't have to. But lately it's like the bite's been super finicky. If they're coming in fast, hard, get rid of all of your bait. Like just like rip it aggressively, fish like that, pound it in the sand type of thing, and don't use any bait. But if they're coming in slow and finicky, sometimes you have to use the bait for sure. Are you a Trailer Park Boy fan? Trailer Park Boys fan. I do like Trailer Park Boys. Lac La Hash Produce Farm. Thank you so much, sir. Hey Clayton, thanks for all the content, tips, and tricks. Finally got my Frostbite order in. Looking forward to some ice fishing with the new gear. Well, thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you as always, and I'm glad you got your gear in. I'm still waiting for mine. I know they had a pile of orders. They're on their way. I'm excited. Carter's excited to get his too. So cheers to you. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Clayton, I got a Helix 7, but the XI 9 1521, there we go. Chirp transducer is out absolutely everywhere with the non-chip dual beam XI 920. It will work just as well. I just don't think you'll be missing a little bit of stuff, but it'll work. Honestly, it'll work. You probably won't be able to turn your chirp IR on, is what it comes down to. So it'll work until you get one for sure. It will, 100%. Who's a better ice fisherman, you or Jay Siemens? Who's Jay Siemens? Never heard of the guy. Jay's better than me. Jay's better than me at everything. Hey Clayton, best ice rod for small, medium Lakers. 8 15-pound. My kids want to know what it is you say to the Lakers when they flop at the hole. So I would say for Lakers that size, I would go with a Mr. Big. It's not a giant rod and it's not a super light rod, but you don't want to be using like are you gonna wear that all day? Yes, I am. You don't want to be using too heavy or too light of a rod for like a 10 to 15-pound lake trout. So I would definitely say Mr. Big would be your best bet. And as for what do I say at the walleye when they're at the hole, I say chikai, chikai, whoa, chikai, chikai. It means wait in Ukrainian. It's something I always heard my grandpa saying. So it's something that chikai, chikai, oh, chikai, chikai, oh, chikai. We should make hoodies. Chikai, chikai. Hey Clayton, what pads do you use in your fish houses? Flooring. I use just like from Canadian Tire or Walmart. Those they come in like a pack of 4 and they puzzle piece together. Those are what I use for the most part. Do you think you'll catch a PB this year? I think I'm going to get a PB pike through the ice. Maybe a PB walleye. Probably going to get a PB lake trout. Definitely going to get a PB perch. I'm going to get some PBs this year. I'm always hunting for them for sure. Hey Clayton, can you please go into detail about your Knipex cutters? I saw your question and I haven't got to it yet in a comment. Yes, I will when I do some pike fishing this year. I meant to actually reply to your comment and I will get to it. I did see it. It was like the next one to answer and I got busy doing something. So Clayton got Justin Jenkins guiding hard for that YouTube Laker title back. Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I wish I could spoil something for you too. Justin's I'm thinking he's gonna have a video coming out soon. He just texted me too. Oh, Justin, here we go. I'm gonna spoil it for you. I can't do it. Justin sent me a picture of a big lake trout. So it doesn't smash the PB. I think maybe he didn't tell me size yet. Maybe that's why he sent me the picture. I don't know. My PB pike is 47 inches open water through the ice. I think it's 45. I believe it's 45, maybe 46. Can't remember. Clayton, how do you catch steelheads and cohos in shallow water? I have no clue. I literally have no clue. Any plans to add drone footage on your channel? I do want to add drone footage on my channel. My drone's doing weird stuff. I took it up north my last open water trip and I crashed it. But before that, it was like the Kim, what's it called? Oh my, I'm having a brain fart. The one that controls the camera, the Nimble. Is that right? I'm having a brain fart. I do know the word for it. I just can't remember it at the moment. Was totally acting up on me. And it was like shaking all the time. So I'd like to get a new drone at some point and add more gimbal. There we go. I'd like to add more footage at some point, but it's just something that's really hard. If I had a camera, man, I would definitely do more drone footage, but it's definitely hard. You should tell Aaron Weed to upload more. You and everybody else, right? The reason why Aaron doesn't upload more videos is because then they would be my quality videos. If he uploaded as much as I did, then his videos would be just like mine. But he waits until he gets a banger and then uploads it, edits it like awesome and then uploads it, right? So when you try to pump out 2 or 3 videos like I do, you don't always get the best quality. If you were maybe editing by yourself, or how to edit, or you can maybe spice it up a little bit. But Aaron's just an artist. Like, his videos are so good. What's your PB walleye? I knew this question was going to come up at some point. It is 32.5 inches, 13.56 pounds. Hyper hammer versus hyper rattle. Geez, that's a good question. I don't know. They're both so good. They're both so good, man. Honestly, I don't know. I don't know. The hyper hammer I've only used in the bigger sizes so far, and I'm going to be playing with more with the smaller hyper hammers here at some point. What's your favorite dinner bell? The one I haven't even used yet. The Insanity Pepper, of course. Rose Gold, though, has been one of my favorites, the medium size. You should do some videos with Aaron, uncut outdoors. Yes, I do need to do some more videos with Aaron. I'm probably going to do a video with AP at some point, a collab. And I know there's some people like don't like him at all, but honestly, like after meeting him and spending time with him a few times, I really enjoy his personality and who he is as a person. He's a really good kid, believe it or not. I'm going to call him a kid because he's a lot younger than I am. He's not a kid, he's an adult, but he's got a really level head on him. And I'm going to do something with AP this year for sure, even though some people are going to say, I can't believe you're doing that. I've had one guy like, don't sell out. And I'm sorry, but he has a lot of followers and he's a pretty good guy. So AP at puberty is cool now. There we go. He's a good person. He really is. You never really can always judge a character like over some of their videos and that kind of stuff, but after you get to spend time with them, then it's a lot easier to judge their character, and I got a good judge on him now. So banana video, yes, Aaron and I need to do another banana video. Yes, tell him to cut his hair. Oh, I will. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe I'll take him walleye fishing and tell him that we'll go, he has to cut his hair if I beat him, or if he beats me, I'll have to shave my beard. Oh, no, I don't think I could do that. Tube jigs, where are you getting them? I going to be at Pokey's soon. I have talked with them. They've ordered it. They've found the ones that I use. And as soon as they get them in, I'm going to do a community post on YouTube and an Instagram post. They're not going to be cheap. For 4 tubes and 2 lead heads, I think they're $27, which is a Tightlines UV one is like $10 a tube for one. So I really think that they're actually a pretty good price if you look at it that way. But they're going to be in packs of 4, and they're like, I don't know, it's pretty expensive for people to buy. I'm like, trust me, you guys. I'm like, people want them. I'm like, I get so many questions about them. So like, order them in. So we have to like sell them out like within an hour. That's my goal, is like to sell them out of Pokies within an hour. So I use dynamite to fish so much quicker, right? Like so much easier. And then when you use dynamite, it's like selective harvest. You can pick which ones you want to keep, right? You just go around, scoop up the good ones. Excuse me. Do you tip your hyper hammers with any bait? I haven't, and I probably wouldn't tip them with ice fishing at all. The only baits I ever tip with bait are spoons that you work more on a spot, like the medium dinner bell spoon that doesn't have a pile of flutter action. That's got some, but it's more of a medium. A buckshot spoon from Northland will do like that. A quiver spoon that doesn't go crazy action, but it's got some. But like your bigger spoons that flutter out and stuff like that, I don't tip them. Or any like rattle baits or anything like that, I never tip with bait. Hey Clayton, what's the new Frostbite grips? I was hoping the new rods would be cork. The black foam gives me... Okay, so actually the new Frostbite rods are cork. They're full cork. The black handle you see is called a handle hugger. I don't have any here, but you heat shrink that on after if you want. So they are full cork. So Clayton, what's the most dangerous ice fishing situation you've been in? Ice fishing, I've never been in a dangerous situation because I always put myself, I'm always paying attention to what's going on. But 2 years ago, I was out fishing with 2 friends. We fished all day and we were walking back, and I was walking kind of this way and another guy was walking this way. And I remember yelling at him, and I won't say their name, but I'm like, hey, stop. I'm like, stop walking. And he stops, and I go over there with the spud bar and I'm like, look at him, like, you can tell in the light that something has gone on today. And I take a spud bar, and it's like I mean, like instantly, like this much ice, right? A little area opened up, and then an ice formed. It looked like just like glare ice, but I'm like, something just doesn't look right. You'll see my next video. I'll like walk forever on like this glass clear ice that I'm not like checking anything, but it's because nothing has changed. You learn how to read the ice, if that makes sense. Like after you have enough experience with it, you really just learn how to read it. Not to say that accidents can't happen, right? That's why they're called accidents. It could be a freak occurrence, but you definitely learn how to read the ice, which is what I talk about a little bit. I don't think I talk about it that depth, but you definitely learn. So ice fishing can be dangerous if you don't take precautions. Do you know how long the Twilight series running gun is with the butt job removed? No, I don't know. Without it, it's probably like 40. I want to say 46-ish. Is it about a 4-inch butt on the true on the? I don't know. Probably 46. I see what you're thinking though. For certain rod cases, that's probably what you're getting at here. Huh? That's smart. Actually, I never thought about that. I don't have any of the new running gun in the Twilight series. I might have to get them to send me one so I can play with that a little bit. I'm guessing that's what you're asking. Hey Clayton, never use dye on your minnows? I haven't used dye on my minnows for walleye, but Carter and I did some pike fishing last year with the chartreuse dye, and we did it on our smelts, and or I guess it wasn't smelts, it was herring, ciscoes, and what else were we using? Herring, ciscoes, and suckers maybe. We had smelts with us too, I guess that day. Have you ever fell through the ice? Not while ice fishing. I did fall through. Um, I did fall through when I was younger, but on like wasn't even ice fishing, just screwing around. Is the ice pressure on my next or the pressure ridge on my next video? No, I had all my cameras put away already when I came across. That's why I just had cell phone footage of it. And I went to. I wish I would have thought of it sooner. As I was editing tonight, I wanted to pull that up off my Instagram story, but it was already gone. So, hi Tigger. He just woke up. This cat has such a tough life. Hey Clay, would you collaborate with Tom Boley like Jay did? I don't think Tom or Jay was with Tom Boley, was he? But yes, I would do something with Tom eventually. He's a really good angler. Clay, what's the thinnest ice you've been on? I'd say probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches. But when it gets to be that thin, I end up feeling not too safe, and I end up leaving. Right, depending on the ice situation. Like 2 inches of really clear ice is good, but 1.5 inches, 2 inches of ice is sketchy. It's not as good. Here, bring him up here. Everybody says Tigger. Tigger, hi buddy. Come here. Come here, you cuddle monster. Where you going? Huh? Oh, he wants to see. Some days he's cuddly, and some days he wants like here. He wants some beer. Want some beer? No, he's not. Now he's in an exploring mode. Oh, take it. Sometimes he wants to cuddle, and sometimes he just like yeah. Usually he's a pretty cuddly cat. Clay, ice fishing for splake in the morning. Got any tips? Really early. Really early I hear for splake. Like those first first 2 hours of the day is like prime. Okay, I'll say it. Hello, Cindy. everybody's all like Tigger, and Cindy was right there. That's a big ass cat. He is a big cat, and believe it or not, he's actually smaller than what he used to be at one point for sure too. Oh, another otterator. Just handle that. It's gone. I meant yeah. Glad I get to see it, and glad you made it safe. Yes, it was. There was no danger of me last night going through that heave or whatever. Like I knew where it was from going through it over in the day. You will see that heave in the beginning of my video, and that's what I came across later in the day. And I had to follow it like probably about I'd say 1/4 mile back to shore, and then kind of go around it type of thing after. But what's your favorite panfish rod? I don't fish for a lot of panfish. For perch, though, I would say the Royal Flush, which is a 36 light from Frostbite. It's pretty good. Clayton, your Suffix 832 braid, is that the ice braid or the super line? It is an ice braid. It is ice 832. Yeah, it's a braid. It's not a it's not a super line. It's a braid. Nordic Outdoors, fist bump. Cheers, dude. Bang. Cheers to you. Will we see you up north with Justin? Probably not. It's really far for me to go, and I like to have all my own gear. Clayton, what's your PB for any fish? My Goliath grouper. My Goliath grouper. If you haven't seen my Goliath grouper video, it's on Uncut Angling channel. Just go to Uncut Angling and search Goliath grouper. Cindy, start filling the fridge yet with Jello shots for the new year? That's funny. I'll have to tell her that. I don't know if I'll be here for New Year's for sure. Cindy's probably gonna have to go with her other boyfriend then if I'm not here. But I might be on a fishing trip then. I think. I think. Where's the bush latte, right? I like the bush. How far do you drive to your lakes? Anywhere between an hour to 7 hours, basically. What rod do you use for dead stick for walleye? The 39 drench, 39 medium light. I think it is drench. The drench. It's a really good dead stick. Uh-oh, Cindy just said what? I think I already told her I wasn't gonna be here for New Year's. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. You guys hide. I gotta hide. Clayton, ever try fishing for some muskie? Some live scope of those muskies down there would look so cool. Totally. I fished for muskie, I think, twice now. Twice? Did a trip with Aaron and Jay quite a few years ago, way out east, and I did a trip with Jay to Lake of the Woods. Caught a 47-inch muskie on our trip out east. And all I have for a picture is like literally a picture of like a script, like the picture of a picture. That's it. Jay Seaman said he was going to do something with Bully on Lake of the Woods this year. Oh, it could be. Yeah. No, if he does, that's great. You ever fish slough-like lakes or mainly just big water? I fish mostly bigger water, a few slough-like lakes, but mostly big water. I like big water. Usually big water is big fish. So I do like big water. I'd rather not catch anything sometimes than have a chance at a monster. If you're driving up 6 hours, where'd that go? If you're driving up to 6 hours to your lake, short days in the winter, where do you sleep? In my truck. I usually drive like the night before, sleep in my truck for a few hours, fish for the day, and then drive home type of thing. Or if I'm tired, sleep for the night, drive home in the morning. So I sleep in my truck a lot. I'm the type of guy that could be 30 minutes from home, and if I'm super tired and I know that there's a chance I could fall asleep when I'm driving, I just pull over and sleep for a few hours, wake up, keep driving. Hey Clayton, do you use swivels on your lake rods or a connection knot? Mostly a connection knot. I will use a swivel at times if I feel like my line's really twisting bad on a certain bait. Maybe I'll use a swivel, but for the most part, I tie direct. How did you locate and catch fish before electronics? Just drill a lot, drill and drill and drill and drop. You're gonna catch less fish, right? Electronics are gonna help you catch more fish. They're not gonna help you definitely. No, I shouldn't say that. Yes, they'll help you catch more fish, but usually they're to locate the fish more than anything. Like even like with Megalive, you're not going to catch more fish because you're using it over a hole. It's going to eliminate some of your time when you're looking for fish. Like in the tomorrow's video where I drill like 7 or 8 different spots. I put the Megalive down, I scan 80 feet out all around. Nope, nothing on this hump. Keep moving. Whereas before, if you don't drop your flasher down like on a straight little cone angle, right? Like, so your electronics really help you locate fish more than anything. They don't necessarily like you don't catch more fish when it's happening because of it. That makes sense. Any favorite motorboat engine brand? Yamaha's always been really good for me for guiding up north, but I've also had really good luck with Mercury's. I had a Mercury 115, what was it called? Pro XS on my flats boat, and I will be getting a Mercury 90 horse 4-stroke with a heated grip on my Starcraft. I saw a question there I wanted to answer. Where about sense, yay or nay? I don't use a lot of sense, but it's something I think I should do more. I think sense would be a really good thing, especially when the bite's super finicky. I do. Remember how much fun it was to learn new lakes through the ice? Yes, totally. I love learning. I remember a few trips up to Tobin Lake Guide Service. He got to Tobin Lake. I remember a few trips to Tobin with some buddies, and we literally would drill for hours and drill and drill. Like, I mean, hours. I know when the first time I went to Athpap, we just drilled and we drilled. Like, you just drill a lot. Any plans to come fishing to Deef at some point? KGF, hopefully I can get out there with you at some point. Helder, thank you for the $3 super chat. Much appreciated. Parker, see ya. Locating walleye on new waters. A lot of it comes to trial and error. Start with like choke points, islands, points, maybe something on the shoreline that sticks out a little bit. If you have good mapping, you want to check your like underwater humps and that kind of stuff too. It all depends what you have you can find on your lake too on the internet, right? Like when I go somewhere, I try to do as much research on that lake as I can on the internet first too, right? Like you never know. Like research, and then drill is in trial and error, right? Like I always compare this like guiding up north. Like lots of times people will be like, you always catch so many big fish up north, and like, wouldn't you like to share all the secrets like with the other guides and your waypoints and your stuff? I'm like, you'll never beat experience. It all comes with experience more than anything. So experience on a certain body of water. The video I have coming out tomorrow, I spent 2 days before I finally found something. So I was on the lake for 3 days and then finally got into it. Hello from Barrow, Alaska, northernmost city in America. Well, hello, Alaska. I need to go to Alaska one day. What's the longest time you spent on the ice? I think I did a pike trip last year where I spent 3 days, I believe. I believe. Which is better, otter or clam? Those questions are always really tough because I obviously work with otter, so I'm going to just say otter, right? But to be honest with you, I haven't had a lot of experience with the clam product lately. I had a clam flip over shelter probably 6 or 7 years ago, but it wasn't even like insulated. Maybe it had an insulated roof. So if I was going to compare my brand new otter to that, well, of course, right? But I don't have the an honest like opinion for you like what's better in that sense, just because I haven't spent a lot of time with either or. But all I can tell you is the otter stuff I have been using is amazing, right? Like I have nothing bad to say about at all. How fast does Frostbite ship? I don't honestly know the answer to that. Usually it's pretty quick, but I know they got piled with orders, so I'm guessing that orders should all be going out here pretty quick. I would think. I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting one for sure. Never use a shack. Be a man. You know, I have I could show you pictures and pictures and all that from fishing outside back when I was younger, or even 5, 6 years ago before I was filming. Trust me, I was the guy that was out there in in a hoodie, literally in a hoodie, and like just pants from the summer, like Cabela's Guidewear or something like that. Trust me, I'm a man when it comes to that. I can stay out in the cold with anybody, but when it comes to filming, and not only that, when it comes to taking care of the fish, you're clueless not to keep them in the shack where it's warm. Because as soon as you pull a fish out of that water, if you spend any time with him, his eyes are going to freeze instantly when it's really cold. So, you could say that. You could say be a man and fish outside. Well, I could say be an ethical fisherman and fish inside when it's cold for the fish, right? Like it's one of those type of things. So trust me, I'm not scared to fish outside at all. I use both clam and otter. Both have perks. Clams are heavy compared to otter, but are definitely great products. Yeah, see, they both probably make an excellent product. It's going to come down to a lot like availability in your area, right? Like what's available to you to buy at that time. If something breaks on you, are you going to get a fix, quickly, type of thing. So I know Otter has an awesome system where you break something in that sense where you break it, you can call them, send them a picture of it, and they'll send it out to you like right away. So I've heard awesome things about their warranty in that sense. Hey Clayton, what kind of structure like features do you look for on lakes? Uh, and how much do you watch for how much barometric pressure for gauging accessible day? I watch a barometer more than anything when it comes for lake trout fishing. I really like that when it gets to below that 100. I feel like the lake trout can definitely take off in that sense, like be on a hot bite. I don't watch it a lot for anything else. Probably a guy should though, because a lot of times when you get like a high pressure system, the fish are going to definitely be moving a lot slower in that most part, or they're going to be a little bit more reluctant to come up shallower because it just puts more pressure on their air bladder. From everything I've read, I don't know if that's true or not, but I don't watch it a lot, but I really should. And what was the first part of your question? What kind of structure or lake features do you look for Lakers? Um, Deep structure that's relatively close to deep water. And a lot of times you want to fish if you want to fish where they're going to be active, you fish somewhere on that, like that steep drop off, or some of your biggest ones might come right to the top. You might only catch 1 or 2 fish all day. And then sometimes too, when they're like, if they're not coming to the hump, then you go down to the deeper area there. When I'm talking deeper, I mean like 60 to 80 feet, somewhere in there. I really don't fish much deeper than 80 feet because I've even seen lake trout suffer from barrel trauma if they can't get down where they need to be. Like say if they're not burping on their way up, which does happen. Sometimes you can put them in like a live well area and you can get them to burp eventually on their own, but you got to be careful. Lake trout do, for the most part, they burp, but they can get locked up and not burp basically. Harley, just wanted to say good job on your channel. Your videos you held from last year was worth the wait. Thank you very much, Harley. We'll have a shot for you. We're getting to an hour, so we're going to be wrapping it up here in a way, but we should definitely have a shot for that, Harley, because I do appreciate that. The lake trout videos turned out awesome. I was happy with them. And I'm probably going to hold some videos over again next year because April doesn't do that good for views at all for ice fishing. Then I'm going to be focusing on my boat videos and that, basically like getting the whole boat together, rigging it type of thing. So cheers to you, Harley. Much appreciated. And some fish tacos. Now I want fish tacos. Hey, Clayton, do you need heavier line than 30-pound braid and 25-pound fluoro for big lakers? Not during the ice season, you don't. You need the bigger line and fluoro during the summer when you're, say, trolling with bigger baits. You don't want to use too big of baits and light line when it comes to it. But like during the ice fishing season, 30-pound braid and 25-pound fluoro will be absolutely perfect for that. This is an apple pie moonshine, and look at it's almost time for a new bottle. Oh boy. I just moved to Manitoba near Winnipeg from Southern Ontario. What might be a good lake to start? There's so many close. If you want big walleye, you can't beat Lake Winnipeg. And the river, I know people are on the Red River already, I see, but just be super careful because I don't know anything about that at all, but be super, super careful. Clayton, I got skunked for tigers today. Have a drink on that. Seen tons of 20 plus. I wouldn't bite. Okay. Evan, okay. Last shot. No more shots. Well, I got one more shot in the bottle, but that'll be it then. Cheers, Evan. Sorry about getting skunked, but hey, that's why they call it fishing and not catching. I hate that line more than anything. What's the best ice fishing line? This is my first year using Suffix, and like I say, with all the companies I ever worked for, I'm not going to come out and say this is the best ice fishing line ever. I've used Power Pro ice braid for the last few years, but now I'm trying Suffix, so I'll give you an honest feedback after I have time with it. Like I said, any product. There's companies and products that I've worked with or started to work with, and I didn't like the product, and then I stopped because I wasn't happy with the product, right? So same thing with my Ion last year when it came to it. So the Suffix 832 braid that I've used so far for 4 trips now has been really good. And the first fish I caught a pike first, and then I caught but it was the first fish on the smoke show. My first time using the smoke show this year with the Suffix 832 8-pound, caught a 30 1/4, so it obviously works. How do you heat your truck when you sleep in it? I just turn it off and on usually throughout the night. I wake up, and my new truck will shut off in an hour, so I can run it for an hour, and then it just shuts off. Are you a Seagar line fan? The Seagar does make good. They're really good. Like I've only used their fluoro, and it was always really good. Not gonna lie, it was always really good when I used it. But now I have been trying the Suffix fluoro, and it's this spring, this summer, it was definitely good. I found myself having to replace it maybe a few more times, but I never had anything that broke that I wasn't paying attention to, if that makes sense. What happened with your Ion? Nothing happened with my Ion. I was just saying that last year when I first started using the Ion, and I had buddies message me and they're like, what Auger, Strike Master, Ion? I wasn't going to come out and tell them like, well, get the Ion, right? Because this is a company that I'm working with that supports me. I'm not going to necessarily just say right away that this is the Auger you have to have. It's like, I want to put it through the test first. And I did. And I will 100% comfortably support the Ion G2 now after using it for a year. Excuse me. Hey, Clayton. Okay, let's see. Let's do 3 more questions. One right here. Hey, Clayton, in your latest PB Laker video where it got off and bit again, it's happened to me in Lakers in Colorado, so I've been known to grab a lure again after being hooked. Yeah, you know what? Like, I think a lot of times when you're like, when you hook a lake trout, when it's coming up and you set the hook, it's coming off with such momentum already. You don't like really give it a solid hook set in the sense where you think it's buried, or maybe they have that tube so hard crushed where when they bite it and you set it and you don't even move them, like that tube doesn't move through there because they bite down so heavy. If they eat the whole bait and it's in their mouth and you set it, yeah, you're probably gonna hook them. But if they just bite on it, man, they're like their strength when they bite down is so hard. Sometimes you don't move it through their jaw, if that makes sense. I won't count this as a question, but I saw there if I have any merch. I do have merch at ClaytonChickOutdoors.com. I only have on that I only have hats and toques. But if you go to Google and you search Teespring Clayton Chick Outdoors, there's a bunch of stuff on there. I do have a new logo hoodie / thing coming out in December. I won't spoil anything, but it is going to be a December release. I'm going to change how I work that a little bit too. I'm going to get rid of a lot of the other merch in there and just do like monthly things, I think. Okay, 2 more questions. Best dinner bell color and size for walleye. Definitely so far it's been the medium size rose gold for me in the lake that I fish for. What I haven't used yet is this one right here, the Insanity Pepper, and you watch. It's going to be amazing. Okay, 3rd question. How often do you change the line on your rods? Usually I change them from summer to winter. I'll run my winter line all year, like the braid. I'll switch my fluoro leaders out though, usually every trip or every other trip, depending on how many fish I catch. But I won't change my braid like halfway through the season unless it's like getting really worn out. I'll use that braid for that whole season type of thing. So I hope that answers that question. Thanks for answering. What is it necessary to bring with you to stay in overnight pop-up tent? I'll answer one more question because this is so important. If you're going to stay overnight in a tent, a must-have is a carbon monoxide detector. 100%. That is the most important item that you are going to have. Now, if you don't bring your heater, you're not going to need your carbon monoxide detector, but that is super important. Cot, heater, and food. Food. If you stay full and warm, you're going to be able to stay out there longer. Okay, hope everybody had a good night. 368 people in here right now. I think I saw as many as 400 at once. So thank you everybody for hanging out with me for a little bit. And yeah, asking some questions and all that fun stuff. There'll be new video released tomorrow morning at around that 8 o'clock type of thing. And yeah, we'll get back on the ice next week and make some more magic happen, hopefully. So you guys are the best. See you, everybody. Have a good night.